Welcome back to some more Alpha Centauri Alien Crossfire with me, Daniel, as Dan has fun. Playing as Domai as the free drones. And all drones are going to be pretty worried by what we ended up researching last episode, which I still have on screen. The needle jet. Terrifying. Game-defining. Maybe not game-ruining, but I'm not a huge fan. But anyway, you'll see why I have my gripes, either this episode or in a future one. So do subscribe if you do want to see what's going on, and please do like the video. Small channel, algorithm, you know the drill. Let's get out of this screen now. I've seen enough of it for my liking. We do not want to see what this needle jet can do.
Production complete. Maximum population reached.
I know. I still need these pop-ups though to remind me to not forget. Much like last episode when I forgot to put colony pods on my transport ship. Because we're 10 out of 10 gamers.
Production complete.
Tree farm in place. So we are going to go in Freedman's Park, which is our forward settled defensive city against Miriam if she decides to really get on our plums. We probably want to get a few more units in here. Aerospace complexes are an interesting dynamic in case of do I build them or do I not? Because unsurprisingly, given it's been the case for every other military-based building in the game, there is a secret project later that gets you one for free. So you do have to decide, is it worth building them everywhere? I'm going to say it's probably not worth building it here. And what we're going to do instead is we're just going to build some ground units. We're going to build probably some defensively inclined units. We're getting a lot of production because of our supply core that we have here. So, in terms of units we can put on the table, we do have to pay extra because it is a prototype. But this still might be worth doing. So, this is kind of the ultimate non-sci unit, defense unit that we can do right now. With really one exception, we don't have anti-air on it. Having said that, I'm not particularly worried about Miriam getting anti-air units because her tech is so spectacularly terrible. She could totally steal it from somebody. But that person would probably be me. So I'm hoping I'm going to be somewhat ahead of the, ahead of that. So we'll see. We're going to probably make a few of these. Just get basic defensive units down just as a precaution. Because realistically, our offensive game is mostly going to be needle jets going forward. Not exclusively, because needle jets can't capture cities. But that's probably going to be the game plan going long term. So we're going to build a few of those.
Complete. Production complete.
You now have a defensive unit, so you don't need to stay there. What we do need is one artillery unit over here, probably to shoot that fungal tower.
Terraform complete.
You settle. Colony pod, you can just end your turn because we're not going to get our transport back in time. This transport is, going to go on its duty, probably drop somewhere up here. We don't have any artillery in this stack. Whoops. Clicked off the game. Go team. I knew I was going to do that at least once during this play. I didn't think it was going to happen then. Where did that unit even go? Oh boy, okay, I was going to say, did I move it by accident? No, I didn't, it's fine. I'm going to move it to here. There we go. And we want to, if we can... How many units do you have here? Annoying, you still have one. But I don't see that university anywhere near. 2 of these 3 units we have can't take cities. That's why I'm saying it's annoying. We can shoot cities, for sure, but we can't take them. Okay, yeah, we're fine here. I don't see any sign of any university troops, so we're okay. Giants have a mindworm over here. That's interesting. You're going to heal up, and you're going to keep moving across to see what's going on. I'm going to shoot that guy. There's no need to. You can, because now we know there's nothing nearby. There you go. Have a free shot. That took almost all of his health. You can't kill a unit that isn't artillery folk. Artillery versus artillery can take out an artillery unit. Artillery versus non-artillery cannot. It can put it down to 95% damage, but it cannot outright take it out. It's only 16 to 9 because he does have his defense going on. We're going to wait. Again, we have time on our side because we don't see any other units nearby that can ruin things. If they get near, then we're going to change game plan. Another forest down, fantastic. What we're going to do is we're going to do build road to that tile. You're going to settle in place. You're now Gamma Sector. Start with a drone, but again, because we have a free talent at every base, not a big deal. We do all of our standard things. We're going to definitely have to do that. And then we're going to go into tree farm territory. Because, well, all of our tiles available that aren't naval tiles are going to be that. And you need to start building some forest of your own. Nice having 2 movement
Turn complete.
formers at this point, which I keep calling workers. But yeah, it's nice to have 2 movement, because now I can move and start doing something on the same turn unless I'm moving to, like, fungus. I'm not upgrading them all, though, because that is going to be horrendously expensive for a pretty limited game. Speaking of expensive, wow, you are really having drone issues. You're going to have a drone riot next turn. You need a Rec Commons, and then you want to have Complex. You're going to force
Request
buy
confirmation.
the ascetic values, or virtues. I keep interchangeably using that name. I'm pretty sure it's virtues, but whatever. We're going to do that, and then next turn we're going to start trying to build the Xeno Empathy Dome and see if we can sneak that from both Zakharov and Deirdre. That would be very funny. Down to 5 eco damage, so yeah, the Centauri Preserve should get us down to 0. We are using our empaths. You can see we have a slightly different type of specialist now. So we did have doctors. Can't have doctors anymore because empaths are objectively better. They give you the same 2 psych, but they also give you 2 economy. So we're going to start making some more money, hopefully. To balance out the fact that, well, we're building a lot of buildings and units down the line. Don't look at that net income, because it's not representative. We're on a turn where we still have triple energy, is what it's showing. You see, it already changed when I clicked the button. But I do want to check. Yes, according to the game, Zakharov has the strongest military. Not a huge surprise, but it's still a concern. Anything we want to do in the council? I'm going to go Global Trade Pact and say, let's double our commercial rates, because we're getting the biggest bonus out of that. Awesome. Free money. That's why she's willing to give it away, because next turn she will build it. And she thinks, hey, nobody's going to be able to beat me to it. Hi, Morgan. You're also non-committal. I am not attacking Miriam right now. I am not giving you fusion power. I am not being friends with you, and you're going to hate me because of my planned economy as well. So how about no?
Project
In the years since our
initiated.
arrival, we have foolishly disrupted so many of planet's ecosystems that entire species may vanish without our ever having understood or even known them. We must halt this plunder, and halt it immediately, for our own survival as a species depends on our ability to strike a balance on this world. Commissioner Pravinlal, Mindworm, Mindworm.
I don't talk politics on my channel or really in my own life very much, but maybe they should take note. Weird again that it's not a Deirdre or Chardon quote, but yes, Pravinlal telling us we built a Centauri Preserve. We're the first one to do so, which is also weird. But we get an excerpt to read, interlude from the Book of Planet. 2284. I have ordered these preserves set aside for you, voice. Plant life will remain completely undisturbed inside these compounds. Can you, in return, regulate your animal and plant vectors, keep them from overrunning my compounds? Mind and flower, node and worm. In compound small, planet yearns. Growth dream soon unlock we prison. Human beware, planet risen. Like you poem we, Earth Domai? New human skill learn we. Pretty dreadful, voice. What is this growth dream? You keep alluding to it. Growth dream soon is. Epochal blooming we. Mind and flower, dreaming we of great why. Earth humans, thoughts many, make they growth dreams sooner. Planet we many, many, many. Great pruning we of animal we, also animal you, beginning again of cycle. You mean this is going to wipe out most animal life on the planet, including all the humans? Not certain we, never before this clearly think we. From humans learn we much, especially Earth Domai. Earth Domai friend we. We'll often remember we Earth Domai in next cycle. That's kind of you, voice, but it's not quite the immortality I had in mind. Can't this process be slowed or stopped? Stop we, no. Slow we, yes. In compound stay we, less harming cause you now. Let's make you we more poems. It hurts my brain a little bit to say all these points. But having said that, I've certainly spoken to people with English as their second language that have harder struggles than the planet. I get it, English is awful to learn. So yes, building a Centauri preserve, the planet is like, yeah, we'll stop wrecking your face quite as aggressively, but we're still going to do it eventually anyway. So, sorry about that. Very rude.
Insufficient energy.
We can't quite afford to do it. Having said that, that might be enough with our production to get it down to 1 turn. So theoretically, we should build that this turn before Deirdre can, which is really funny. Yes, I burnt all of our cash, but it's fine.
Production complete.
And we're going to get a cutscene. Hooray! The ascetic virtues.
Learn to overcome the crass demands of flesh and bone, for they warp the matrix through which we perceive the world. Extend your awareness outward, beyond the self of body, to embrace the self of group and the self of humanity. The goals of the group and the greater race are transcendent, and to embrace them is to achieve enlightenment. Chairman Shen Jiyang, SS on Mind and Matter.
I know I've said it before, but man, these cutscenes are good. Especially for the time period, but they're still cool now, which really is impressive, quarter century later. Yeah, so the ascetic virtues was not the one we rushed to beat other factions to. But we increased our population limit of our bases by 2. So we're only going to have to do Hab complexes at population 9 now, much like Lal does by default. And increases your society's tolerance for use of police and military units. So it gives us +1 police. Which means we can use 2 units as police rather than 1, which will mean we could survive, dealing with 2 drones instead of 1. If you get to +3, you can pretty much just suppress everybody. Which is an interesting way of saving money on a lot of buildings, but that's not the way we're going to go. We're Domai, we're building things, that's what we do. And yes, we're still going to go into getting a Rec Commons and a Hab Complex, but you are then going to get a second unit to defend and deal with the joy of drones. There you go.
Production complete.
Thank you for the prototype.
Production complete.
Craftsman's Keep is up to population 8. So many tiles that it can't use because neighbouring colonies are using them. So we want, in this location, there's a lot of things we want, truth be told. But we're going to go for a Recreation Commons. I'd still rather get a Rec Commons than have to build another unit and potentially cost us a mineral. I'd rather pay a gold or energy or 2 than a mineral. Don't want to get a Hab Complex because you somehow still don't have one. So there you go.
Maximum population reached.
That's not
Production
true anymore.
Complete.
Finally got your impact infantry. So you, sir, can now go into genuinely creating a proper colony, because we only have the absolute basics to start off with. So what we want is a sea former, and then we want a tree farm, a research lab, and then a Hab complex.
Production complete. Production complete.
There we go.
Terraform complete.
You're going to sit in place. Our transport is now back, so we're going to try again, guys. Try and put units in our transport. Oh, dear, dear. You gotta laugh. This is a rocky tile, which sucks. So we're going to immediately terraform level. You got your forest down. Bit dangerous to go next to the fungal tower, but we'll do it anyway, because we're playing a risky game. No, we're not, but you know what I mean? Still no units in this vicinity I have to worry about? No. Okay, that's fine. They just keep shooting that. Oh, he's got a couple of units in there now, which is a little bit annoying. Are either of them offensively inclined? Yes, one is a 4 attack unit. Which means we will have to attack it, or it will attack us. Can I use the one that hasn't moved this turn? I mean, that should be pretty self-explanatory, but whatever. This is not a great roll, but we need to do it anyways. He's going to take out one of our units pretty inevitably, but... I was going to say, am I going to lose that 16 to 9? That amount of damage is terrible, because it means if he takes out another unit, that one will die by proxy. Can I shoot you from here? Nope, I cannot. So we have to move next door. And then you guys can't. We can't.
Request
well, we can
confirmation.
afford it. There you go. Get that done.
Request confirmation.
Get that done. I just want to get things built. We're not going to clearly be building anything extravagant here yet, but we need to do something. Hi, University. Oh, you're cooperative, so you still like me. I am not giving you that. Absolutely not. Hard pass. He was cooperative, so I knew he wasn't going to do anything wonky in that case, but that's still a big no. And it's very important that he doesn't have air power yet, because as soon as he does, he'll spam them out like we're planning to in the near future. So we do genuinely have 2 colony pods on this ship this time. Excellent. We should be able to get a couple down here. I mean, we could... It's a bit weird, but we could totally settle in the middle now of all these. And just give them access to these 2 monuments. I guess. I'm not super thrilled with that as a prospect, but there's no real harm in doing that, so...
Turn
Forwards,
complete.
and you've ended turn. Okay. So, did we beat Deirdre to that wonder? We're seeing a lot of movement.
Project complete.
Because we get to go first. So we get another cutscene! Yay! Let's go watch the Xeno Empathy Dome.
I believe planet will talk to us if we're willing to listen. These fungal stalks behave as multi-state relays. Taken together, the neural net connectivity must be staggering. Can a planet be said to have achieved sentience? Lady Deirdre Sky, Arguments in Council.
It feels like more of an LSD nightmare than anything else, that cutscene. Yeah, so we stole that from Deirdre. And they might not have another wonder to build, so that might just be burned production from them. Okay, so we're up to 4 drones in our capital, so we need a rec commons like yesterday. And then what we're going to do is we are going to get a fusion lab, and then we're probably going to start building air units here.
Drone riots.
They're fine. Oh, and we're getting an upgrade. Do we want to upgrade that 3 Vesta Sentinels? Sure. We definitely want to do that for no cost. And that at no cost.
Production complete.
Because of this prototype that we've just done. So we're going to zoom in. So now we have Chaos Shock Troopers. And you want to start building some planes, because you don't pay the cost for everything to do with prototypes. So this is a needle jet. The Chaos Needle Jet is probably the most common one you'll see in the game, because you tend to get needle jet tech when you have level 8 military tech. Not always, you do see resonance laser needle jets occasionally, but this tends to be the most common one that I see start off with. Shielding is irrelevant on a plane. It looks cool, but realistically not important. The cost is the terrifying bit. So we get a discount of about 20% by default because we're Domai, and we're still getting a bit more discount because of the, social engineering that we picked. But it's only 21 minerals to build a plane. It's no more expensive to build the plane than it is to build an infantry that has anti-air. Like, it's crazy. Especially because you get deep radar for free, so it gets 2 vision. This is pretty gross as a unit goes. And then the other unit you may have noticed, because the game pre-built 2 of them, is this interceptor. So this is what I was talking about. So this has air superiority. This is an air unit that attacks other air units. If you watch my Advanced Wars 2 Let's Play and when the channel first opened, this is a fighter. Except it can attack ground units badly. That 8 is halved when attacking non-air units. But this is still very, very helpful. But until other factions get air units, this is irrelevant. So we're not going to be ploughing through those straight away. We're going to be getting Chaos Needle Jets. Actually, we're going to be getting so many of them, I'm almost tempted to rush by this aerospace
Insufficient
complex.
energy.
Yeah, let's do it. Get that first. And then you're just going to spam out Needle Jets like you'd never seen it coming. And again, just for context for how cheap it is, this city only has 8 minerals because it's burning 5 of them on supporting other forces. And it can still bring out a plane in 3 turns.
Production complete.
Obviously, it'll slow down as it builds a stack of them, but that's still crazy. You need a tree farm. Absolutely.
Production complete.
You are an excellent city now, Living Standard. Very, very good city, even without most of your water tiles being improved. You're going to be a building plane location. This will not be extra expense, but still. 2 turns when it's not on a
Production
prototype. That's
complete.
craziness.
Production complete.
I do need an artillery unit of some kind. I need 1. So build me 1 Chaos Artillery here, please.
Production
That Fungal
complete.
Tower. You are still having drone challenges, so there you go. And you're probably now deserving of a hybrid forest.
Production complete.
Okay, perfect. And we're going to start clearing some fungus.
Terraform complete.
As dangerous as it is still good to do because it'll weaken the fungal tower. It might just come and wreck us, but you know that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. You can be dropped off in the city. Then you can be dropped off over here. It's still a little bit risky because we have fungus nearby, and we still haven't taken that pod yet. But I've just not really felt the rush needed. We're going to clear this fungus real quickly now, thanks to Xeno Empathy Dome. So we do... It wasn't completely useless, but it's not the most important thing in the world. Yeah, we get 4 solar from this, not like 12. But it's still very, very good. Like, it's a very strange tile. It's a 114, but that's still very, very impressive. Are you a rocky tile? I'm pretty sure you are. Yeah, rocky and area, so you're going to have to be terraform level. You are almost done upgrading our capital again. But this tile, it can work, so let's go improve that one. You're going to sit in place. You're going to clear fungus. You, now with your 8412 unit, is going to go over to Freedman Park, because that is exactly the type of unit we want to see there. He didn't come to attack us. Isn't that interesting? So again, the problem here is that we only have 1 melee combat unit, and it has no health. So we're just going to have to wait and just keep shooting, because, like, for example, our odds are so bad that it's like, hey, don't do this. Just outright telling us that would be a bad decision. But you are a melee unit, so you can have a go at it. And because I am dumb, I hit space instead of W. I could have walked in with that unit that's pretty much fully damaged, but it's fine. We'll deal with that next turn. Still surprised nobody's spawned a city out in the geothermal shallows, and it said showers. That's not what it says. We're now here. Do we want to disembark? I'm going to say no. They only have 1 unit over here. That's adorable and rubbish. You finally have defensive units. Excellent. You're not moving.
Turn complete.
Yeah, had we have hit W and not spacebar, I could have moved that tiny damage unit in, but it's fine. He's not building a unit this turn, so that's not a big deal. A minor oopsie doodle, but nothing super major. Anything we need to really do? I don't think so, we're good. Ooh, severe haze and clouds. Especially the clouds. Ugh. It kind of looks like we've got poached eggs in the sky, really, doesn't it? Poached eggs in the sky. -1 energy in every square. But only at one city, so it's fine. Oh, rip your transport fleet there. Oh, they want to elect a planetary governor again. So, change of pace here, and it's a very funny one. So, Zakharov only going to vote for himself. Makes sense. He's got 117 votes. He's the one that's called it. Because we are now official friends with Lal, he will vote for me with his 54 votes. He's the third biggest faction in terms of votes, but remember, he gets double, so he's not actually that big. We just have the casual 402. So we have more votes than everybody else put together. That is important to know.
Production complete.
Proceed.
You
Proceed.
are orphans, RSD.
I accidentally skipped through that, but that's okay because that sound is pain. So, you didn't miss out on missing that sound effect. Built the network node. We need... We already have a C-former doing its job, so that's perfectly fine. We're just going to have drone issues here. Get a research hospital, that'll at least help a little bit. And I guess you're going to... How many minerals do you have? You only have 5. You don't have as many as I thought, even by naval base standards. I was going to say we might start building planes there, but I don't really think that's a good idea. What we are going to do is a little trick that I think a lot of people have used. So what we're going to do... Remember the name? It's Welder Shipyards.
Production complete.
We'll go back there
Production
in a second.
complete.
I have often been asked, if we have traveled between the stars, why can we not launch the simplest of orbital probes? These fools fail to understand the difficulty of finding the appropriate materials on this planet, of developing adequate power supplies, and creating the infrastructure necessary to support such an effort. In short, we have struggled under the limitations of a colonial society on a virgin planet, until now. Colonel Corazon Santiago, Planet, a Survivalist Guide.
This was the other reason why I wanted to go discover. So we ended up with the Hunter-Seeker algorithm, which is excellent. This is the other reason. And this is what I was referring to earlier when I was like, hey, when we have cities doing nothing, this is what we want to build. That wasn't just needle jets. So orbital space flight gives us a lot of things. It gives you a UN proposal to salvage the Unity fusion core. That gives every faction 500 energy. We will not do that because we make so much more money than everybody else. We can build the Sky Hydroponics Lab. So this is a satellite. As soon as you launch one, you'll be able to see everything in terms of its landmass on the map. But every Sky Hydroponics Lab that you build, and it has no maintenance cost, by the way, it increases the nutrient output of every base by 1. Unless you don't have an aerospace complex, then it's half as much. And you can only build them in cities that have aerospace complexes, so that's something to bear in mind too. These are broken, and there's one for minerals and one for energy as well, but this is the really broken one, because it now means you don't have to rely on pop booms. You can just get such a ridiculous amount of food that you can do whichever other social engineering that you want. That might not even be the most interesting thing on this tech, though. Not missiles, although they are useful. So, a conventional missile, you can put all kinds of different loads on it, but usually you just see a conventional payload. It's just a massive attack stat that blows itself up. It's pretty cool. I don't tend to build a ton of them. This guy, however... So this is this game's version of nukes, the Planet Buster. The amount of damage it does depends on the reactor that's in it. We have fusion reactors, so it will blow up the tile that it lands on entirely, including a city, and every tile adjacent to it, in that, that plus shape. Needless to say, if you launch a Planet Buster at somebody, everybody will declare war on you immediately and will hate you for the rest of time. So I don't usually recommend it unless you're playing for memes or you're playing Total War mode where every faction's at war with you all the time anyway. We're probably not going to need to do that in this case. We're not going to check it out. But what we do want to do is keep doing these two things. It's funny that we did turn Discover off after the Hunter-Seeker algorithm, but we went so far into the Discover tree it was kind of inevitable we get it fairly soon afterwards. Surprised it took this long, really. The tech that we now want is another Conquer field, to the point where I'm tempted to just turn Explore off completely. Because the way this game has gone, very passively, we don't have to go and nuke the university, potentially. Although we might just for fun to show you what happens. But, yeah, we might not have to do that at all. So Whipshaw Base, you go for a research hospital because you're still having drone issues, even with 2 defensive units here. And then we're going to get a couple of places have aerospace complexes because we're going to build some satellites for sure, 100%.
Drone riots.
You're fine now. This is such a weird city. Everything is kind of in pairs. We have a group of 222s and everything else is 3-3, apart from the city capital itself. It's kind of cool. Stay in place.
Complete.
You've already cleared it. That's how fast it is now. You probably want to go wander to what? Here? And you can now come back to where? Because we're not really building much in the way of transportable units. I mean, we guess we can come back to Hammer and Tongs. But that's not a huge priority. Then, yeah, the question really is, do we settle there? Or do we because I'm thinking settling here probably makes more sense. Because then we can still get these two, but we also get some other tiles. So I think that's what we'll do. Did we decide we're going to settle here? Sure. Delta sector it is. There we go. And then we want the standard fare, rec commons, recycling tank, children's creche, perimeter defense, network node, something in that order. We don't really care which. Get a tree farm because we will be building forests here.
Terraform complete.
You built your road. You're now going to build a forest as a congratulations moment. You two are going to stay in place temporarily. You're going to get Epsilon sector, which interestingly does not start with a drone because we have the 2 units there. That's partly why I just didn't bother to move them. Again, roughly the same thing, because we will be getting forest out in this direction. We're just going to keep annoying the hive with our naval units, because we can. There's a pod over there. This is a bit dangerous to do. I'm going to move straight on to
Nutrient
it.
resources.
Okay, it was nutrient resources and money. I mean, that's cool. We like that. This is also a little bit risky, but it's fine.
Perhaps a careful review of your options is in order.
Thank you. Remember, we can use Fungus's Road now, which makes us far less dangerous, although it's still not great odds at 5-3. But we'll get defensive bonus in the Fungus. And they only have a 1-2-1 there, so I'm not worried about that at all. This is still unoccupied. Where is our really damaged unit?
Terraform complete.
Didn't want to do that, but it's fine because I hit W, not spacebar this time. Gave myself a mini panic, but that's okay. I did not mean to do that either. Go team. This one needs to be terraformed level. Get some more forest. Thank you kindly. You can now settle Zeta sector. And you have lots of angry. So now we're up to the point where there's 2 drones. Bear that in mind, because it means we're going to have to move units with colony pods if we want to. The 2 that we're already going to move on the other island, we're just going to bite the bullet on.
Request
we
confirmation.
Can afford to do that, and that will help. We want to do this, that, and those. You know the drill. We are going to lose a population, which will also help with the drones. What tile do we want here outside our capital? Probably just a forest. Yeah, I think we're okay with just a forest there. Yes, because what we wanted to do is we want to find this unit, the one that's 90% damaged, and move it, because it will get healed for free. We don't need to worry about this city, because I'm sure the university is going to handle social engineering Den at some point. So we don't even need to worry about defending this particularly. Yeah, and we'll just do the basics. Didn't mean to hit that, but that's also fine. We're clearly going to need some workers over here, but we'll deal with that later. Again, we have these cities here predominantly just so the university can't get them, and so that we have places to put planes if we need to. You're going to stay in place. You're going to move into heal. These two are going to come over here and shoot this fungal tower, I think.
Perhaps a careful review of your options is in order.
No, it's fine.
Perhaps a careful review of your options is in order.
No, I can assure you it's good. Yeah, these guys I'm not going to attack. No. Please just give up. Please. Like, I don't need to take all this out at this point. The university might not even come over. But if they take out Unity Lair, they'll just blow it up. It's very interesting that the Gaians have units over here.
Turn
Hi, Miriam.
complete.
Oh, there they go. They blew up the city.
Production complete.
That's what happens when you take out a 2-population city. That'll happen. Okay, you don't need chaos speeders anymore, Sunshine. You need an aerospace complex.
Production complete. Resource shortfall.
Yeah, we were aware.
Terraform complete.
So we do have one more colony pod, I guess. Where do we want to put it? I mean, we could put it here just to kind of troll these guys. Sure. You're still going to wait in place. You can now move to protect them. Having all this movement in fungus is really cool at this point. Really cool. Let's start clearing fungus there, please. You go up top. We could go through the fungus. Now, it can still spawn mind worms, so you do have to be careful. I guess we'll put a sensor here, given I moved there by accident. Try and make something out of that accidental move. And what we want to do, we want to have the naval unit fire first. Thank you kindly. 35 to 16 is not as good odds as I thought it was going to be, but it's not bad. And you can now move in and fully heal. Cool. Now will you give up to me? Right, there we go. So he's going to surrender. I surrender, for my defeat is abject and total. If you will but have mercy upon me, I shall give you all of the energy credits. He has a whole 14 energy credits. And all of his research. He doesn't have any. And I'm going to say, sure. Thank you muchly. And I'm going to ask Zakharov to... Because I'm sure it wasn't the university that declared. Yeah, the university I'm sure did declare. Yeah, they're going to say, you can't do that. So we're going to go through our somewhat regular routine, but this time with a little bit of a twist. We are going to go for some fungicidal workers over here. And you guys are just going to sit in place temporarily, except for this transport, which needs to make it back. You need to make it back to Hammer and Tongs, please. It'd be nice if you get out of the way of the university. You don't have to tell me the city's there. I'm pretty aware at this point. Just going to keep shooting. We are going to take over a unit to go take that tower out because we need a melee unit. But want to make sure we take the one that we healed up.
Perhaps a careful review of your options is in order.
This turn is correct. And yeah, they completely blew everything up over here. That's cool, I guess. Good for you, but whatever. You guys are just going to sit in place temporarily.
Turn complete.
Defense. So yeah, we're going to ask... It's dangerous because he's probably going to ask us for air power again, and we're going to say no again. He wants orbital space flight this time. This one I'm less worried about giving. That might mean he has the tech, which is a little bit worrying.
Time dilates as the speed of light approaches. To the extent that light consists of particles, it is in its own way timeless. Through simple perturbations of the temporal manifold, we can refract or repel photons most efficiently. Academician Prokhor Zakharov. Now we are alone.
This tech is not particularly important. It just gives you level 5 defense. But we're trying to get along the military tech tree, the conquest one, so that's why I said okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has flight now. So that's not great. But that's okay. We're still miles ahead in this game. If you let a building faction be alone to build, this is what happens. Had this faction have been, say, Miriam or the Hive, this would have been very, very different. Because it was Lal, who usually is somewhat placid, not always. This was why we were able to do this. Like, we got pretty lucky in this game, apart from the fact that the university got the... Like I said, I know I've waxed lyrical about it multiple times, but this is gross. I don't see them building any air units, so maybe they don't have flight yet, but I'm sure it's not far away. We can technically check, but it feels like cheating going through and checking every tech an AI has. Doesn't really feel in the spirit of the game. Our capital's at 16 population, by the way, which is pretty bananas considering where we were at, and that's competitive with what he has in the Monsoon Jungle. In fact, it's bigger than anything he has in the Monsoon Jungle, and they get bonus food everywhere, so that's pretty cool. The AI, even, it would seem, with the PRACX update, not fantastic at base building. Better than it was before, at least it tries to expand, but baby steps, baby steps. Okay, that's end turn. Oh, we forgot to ask Sakov to... I'm dumb. The one thing we actually tried to reach out to him to do, we didn't do. He doesn't have air power. At least we found that out. And now he's not attacking you. So that's cool. Now that I remembered, I'm okay with ending this video. So, please give me a like. I remembered the thing I said. The only thing I didn't do that I forgot was go into, what was that place that started with W? Welders something or other. Welders Shipyards. And then we were going to potentially go about getting... Maybe going for a satellite even here. I don't know. We'll decide that next episode. I did remember, though. I just wanted to point that out. So yeah, have a wonderful rest of your day. Please do subscribe to the channel, and take care. Bye now.